Good morning, good afternoon or good evening. I don't know when you're watching this video, but it's Mr. Jones here and I'm going to talk you through the introduction to the rainforest and animal adaptations lesson. All pupils will be able to sketch the structure of the rainforest. Most will be able to identify different ways animals and plants adapt to the rainforest, and some pupils will be able to explain different ways animals and plants adapt to the rainforest. Okay, so let's get started. On the board I have a distribution of tropical rainforest around the world map. What I would like you to do is, in your book or your notepad, describe the location of the world's rainforests. What I would like to see is inclusion of continents or countries that these rainforests are in. Where in the earth will you find these rainforests? And I'd like you to refer to that invisible line around the middle. And if you can, include compass directions in the countries or the continents. Please pause the video to do that, and when you're ready to resume, press play. Okay, so you should have maybe included South America, you've got Africa, Indonesia, and what I was looking for with that invisible line, was the equator. You find a lot of tropical rainforest just below and along the equator. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the rainforest itself, the structure, why it looks the way it does, how does it work. So there's four key parts in the rainforest that decide how it looks, how it feels, how it's run. You have the climate, which we've looked at in previous lessons, and we've worked out that it's very warm and it's very wet. You have vegetation, soil and rocks, and living creatures, so animals, insects, humans. Everything is connected. For example, if you had a cold climate, there's going to be different vegetation. There's going to be different living creatures who have adapted to that cold climate, who are able to live in that cold climate. Due to the climate and the link with all these different things, it's very unlikely that in the desert you're going to see a polar bear. They don't suit the area. We're going to look at adaptations later, and we're going to look at why he's better off in a very cold climate. So what I would like you to do in your book, could you please copy down this diagram of vegetation, soil and rocks, living creatures, climate. Every single one of them is linked. When you return to school, we'll be chatting about it in more detail as we get further on. So please try and work out how is climate related to soil and rocks, vegetations and animals, and the other arrows that are in this image. So if you could pause the video and copy that down, that'd be great, and unpause when you're ready to start again. Okay, so you've now put the diagram in your books, and we do have a more detailed diagram to follow. We are looking at the structure of the rainforest. As you can see, we have very tall trees, we have medium-sized trees, we have lower trees, and we have little bushes and shrubs at the bottom. The way to imagine this area is whenever you watch a film that is set in South America, or a film is set on an island where they're filming, and there's always a shot where there's a drone or someone in a helicopter flying over these tops of trees. That is usually a tropical rainforest. They have such a covered area of a canopy. In this area you have 1, 2, 3, 4 different types of trees. You have a shrub layer, which is the first layer at the bottom. They don't get much sunlight, they get little water, so they don't have the ability to grow as large as the others. Then you have the under canopy, who need to adapt to the area below, but we're lucky enough to get more sunlight and water than the shrub layer. And then you have the main part, the canopy. This is why it can be so dark in a rainforest, because the canopy, where all trees are the same levels, and this is where the majority of trees will grow to. And above it you have the emergence. Way to remember that, they emerge through the canopy. So they break through. It can be a canopy for birds, it can be a lookout for other animals, but they can get above the canopy. So, as we can see, there's a lot of competition in the tropical rainforest, and we're going to have a look at what the animals and plants do to survive. You're familiar with vines that you see climbing on the side of a house? In the tropical rainforest, we call them lianas. They climb up trees to reach the sunlight at the canopy. So although they don't have the ability to grow up themselves, they've adapted to use these emergents to get themselves above the canopy. As you can see, the shape of the trees, you recognize the style they grow. Tall, branchless trunks, all energy goes into growing upwards. It's a competition. They don't want to waste any time having a thick trunk or being wider or having branches. It's a competition who can get the tallest. So all the energy goes into going up and trying to reach that canopy or become an emergent. Most animals you'll find in the rainforest have adapted to life in the canopy, as most of the food is found at this level. Okay? At the bottom of the shrub layer we also have buttress roots. They help stabilize the tree in a thin soil. There's so many trees close together, there's a lot of competition. A lot of nutrients being taken, a lot of roots crossing over each other. So the soil is very thin. What the buttress roots do is start to grow above the floor. They start to grow above the thin soil. Traditionally you see trees, you see the trunk of the tree, and below are the roots. In the Amazon rainforest you might see roots starting above the soil. So what I would like you to do is to copy down the diagram that I've placed here. Once you have, please resume the video. Okay, so I've got two images for you. Animals and plants of the rainforest have adapted to this in a very specific environment. The two images I've got is I've got a tree trunk and I've got a leaf. I'd like you to look at both images yourself and have a little think to yourself, how is this leaf adapted to the rainforest and how is this tree adapted to the rainforest? Pause the video to have a little think, resume when you're ready to discuss. Okay, so you should have seen straight away the buttress roots on the tree. You can see the shape of the trunk. You can tell this tree is growing upwards because of the competition in the canopy, and you can tell the buttress roots are starting above because the soil is so thin and there is so much competition. Regarding the leaf, in the tropical rainforest you will not find leaves facing upwards like you might in other trees. They tend to face downwards. The idea of this is because there's so much rainfall, if they're facing downwards, the water can slide right off them. They also come with a kind of plasticky, waxy feel to them. This helps them take in less water, be less heavy, and let the water slide off like off a duck's back. Okay, we've looked at plants. What about animals? In this image I have a tiger shark, and the question is the perfect animal. Please write tiger shark in your book, and you can do bullet points or a mind map. Why has this animal adapted so well to its surroundings? Okay, so pause the video to do that and resume when you're ready. Okay, so the perfect animal. So some of the things you could have seen is the white underbelly and the dark scales at the top. The reason that's an adaptation, the reason why this shark protects himself, is he is not the biggest shark, but he is still a predator. His underbelly is white because in a day, if you look up towards the sky, the sun might be out, so we will need a lighter tone to camouflage in the water, whereas any prey above will be looking down to see that darker scales and will think, right, I'm safe up here, but obviously our boy is hiding underneath. What we're going to do now is have a little look at different animals in the rainforest. How have they adapted and what layer you think it lives in? Could you please pause the video and draw this table into your book? Okay, so with that table in your book now, we're going to go through a few images. You can choose to listen to me with guidance, or you can use the other PowerPoint and go step by step through the images without any volume, and then check back at the end. So first is our spider monkey. The things I want to notice: is he going to be in the shrub layer? Do you think it's an under canopy, the lower canopy? Is he going to be in the canopy or emergence? Think of his colour, think of his attributes, think of how he moves, think of his size. Is he a predator, is he a prey? Take these into consideration. The red-eyed tree frog. You can pause these videos at any time if you want to get more detail on them. Let's have a look at a red-eyed tree frog. How high do you think he's going to get in our tropical rainforest? Think of his colour. Think of why he would need to be a certain colour. Is he hunting? Is he prey? These are the questions you need to ask yourself. How is he adapted to stay safe? Yellow-banded poison dart frog. Why the bright colours? Why would it be useful to have poison inside you as a frog? Think of predator and prey. Where would he be living in the rainforest structure? Please pause if you want to take more information on him. The jaguar, same questions as before. How high do you think the jaguar gets? Where will he find the most prey? What adaptations might he have for chasing prey, for hunting, for sneaking up on prey? This little fella, the orangutan. What sort of adaptations might he have? Does he need to protect himself? Is he hunting anything? How high can he get in the rainforest? Spiny devil katydid. I didn't know this fella's name till I put this lesson together, but now I've looked at them, they look pretty petrifying. Have a look at him. Why has he got all those spikes on his arms and legs? Why is the ears colour green? What level is he living in when you move up and down the canopy? Where could he get to? What colour is he? Why has he got those defences? Please fill each of those boxes in. When you're finished, come back to this slide and resume the video. Okay, so you've looked at adaptations of many different animals in the rainforest. Now's the exciting part. You are going to create your own. But it needs to be adapted to the Amazon rainforest. Your animal needs to be adapted to a hot, wet climate. We've looked at that in atmospheric circulation and our climate graphs, so we know it needs to be prepared for it to be very hot and it prepares to it for a lot of rainfall. The area is full of dense green vegetation. Please take this into consideration. It needs to avoid predators, or will it be the other way around? It will be hunting prey. It could be secondary, it might be in the middle. These are the rules. Your animal can look however you want, but the rules are as follows. Do give your animal a name and vital stats. I want to know its height, what layer it lives in, diet, weight, and anything more you can think of. Do label all your animal's adaptations and explain how they help your animal. So if you were talking about a colour that you've created your animal, if your animal was green, you would need to explain, my animal is green, this helps my animal camouflage in the large, dense green vegetation, which will help it hunt prey, or will help it avoid predators. There's one big don't. We are creating an animal. Please do not give them anything unnatural. That means no guns. That means no lasers coming from its heads, or no jetpacks. Okay, if you want to be smart about it, and instead of giving him 2 samurai swords in his hands, you can design that the forearms of the animal might be sharp, which can be similar to swords. Okay, be smart about it. It needs to be an adaptation, not a weapon. If there are any questions, please contact me at jonesd1489@hubcymru.com or on Teams, and I'll be available to help you. Good luck with your animal, because then you can end up on the Miss Gleason Wall of Fame. These are some we've seen in the past years. As you can see, the top 2 on the left, very well designed. You can see the detail is put around them, talking about each adaptation they have. So you can refer to this if you need any inspiration, but otherwise, be creative, give us detail, show us the different adaptations. Good luck with your animal. Thank you for listening. I'll see you soon.